Cool. How y'all doing? Everybody good? Sweet. I was reading this news story from Australia where this woman has finally been charged in connection with the death of 3 people. She's been charged for murder of 3 people who died after they ate lunch at a lunch party she threw. And when they arrested her, she was like, how am I supposed to know what's poison and what's not poison? You know what I mean? Like, it could be anything. Why couldn't the meal be so good that they died? Did anybody think of that? And the more that I read about the story, it was baffling. So it turns out just about everybody at the lunch party were her ex-husband's relatives. So yeah, I think you might have done it. Wow, that's crazy. I know some of y'all out here love staying friends with your exes and stuff, but if I ever have an ex-wife, and one day, randomly in July, she's like, how about you and your whole family come and eat a meal I cook while I watch? I'm gonna have to decline all the poisoning. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't care. I don't care what type of apple flavors you make it. You're not killing me, okay? You know. And the only reason the husband's still alive is at the last minute he couldn't make it. So he was also gonna be there, and then he was like, sorry, got held up at work. Then he lived. That feels crazy, you know. They say revenge is a dish best served beef Wellington. And I loved it though, because it was such a weird story. And then imagine your alibi being like, y'all know I can't cook. Like, what is your plan here, man? You all ever have that person in your life that's like the dumbest person you know? Like, just top to bottom, you're like, how are you still alive? You know what I mean? You just won't even understand how they function. You know, it's like, you made it this far, and yesterday couldn't have been easier than today. How do you keep racking up days consecutively? I know a dude that, I won't even call him a friend. I know a dude that is the most unsuccessful drug dealer I've ever met in my life. This is absolutely astounding. How do you fail at selling drugs to people who very much want drugs? Like, they would like drugs very much until they meet you. That is crazy. What kind of bad vibes are you putting out that someone on crack is like, you know what? I'll wait. That's insanity. How'd you take the urgency out of drugs? It's truly wild. I've never seen anything like it. He honestly cleaning up the streets. Everybody he tries to sell to don't want it. I'm like, you're making the neighborhood safer by the day. You really need to work for the DARE program or the police. Somebody where you can make money by being bad at what you do. It's astounding. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else with your life. This is clearly not your calling, all right? You know, because when you're good at selling drugs, if you're good enough, they'll make movies about you. They'll make TV shows about you. His movie would be 8 minutes. It would be him haggling for the price of meth with somebody and then them being like, you know what? Keep it. And then just walking away. I told him, I was like, you need to do something else. And he got all defensive. You know, he was like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, you know? This dude actually said to me, he's like, can I borrow a couple dollars till I get paid? I'm like, there's no payroll. Like, you sell drugs and you'll be paid. I'm not giving you money, because then you'll literally have to pay me back with drug money. That's insane. Now I'm part of the operation. I don't want to have anything to do with this. He's always so defensive, like, you putting it all on me. It's not all me, okay? It's this economy. I'm like, no, you don't get to say that. No one smoking crack is saving up for a house. Devastating. I also had, okay. Y'all know what the ick is, right? Okay, in case you don't know what the ick is, in case you don't have TikTok. The ick is when you are infatuated with someone. You really like them, and then they do something. It's usually something innocuous, something that's very particular. And then it just turns you off. You lose that infatuation, and hence the ick. You don't want to be with them anymore. Like if you went on a date with someone, and then on the date, they were eating, and they were like slurping their soup extra hard, and now you don't want to be with a whole person because they use their mouth. You know what I mean? Like just... Everyone always talks about what their ick is, you know? Or what they don't like, what gave them the ick. But nobody ever talks about being the ick. Have you noticed that? It's like it's always about what bothers me. It's never people just admitting that they did something. Like, I'll be vulnerable for a second. I've been the ick before. And there's nothing like watching yourself be the ick in the woman's face. It's the saddest, it's genuinely horrible, because it's like, once again, I'm not a bad person. I'm not doing anything crazy or gross. I'm just, I did whatever I did, and now we both like, oh, yeah. I'll give you some examples. I used to live in Chicago, right? And when I lived there, I was, my life was not great. I don't know, I was very broke. I remember I had gone on this date, and the date was fantastic. We had a great time. She even came back to my place. We're sitting on my bed. She's clearly going to spend the night. It's definitely about to happen. But I had work in the morning, so I just wanted to make sure that I had set my alarm for work and that I plugged my phone in so it didn't die, right? But the way that my bed was, the plug for the outlet was slightly behind the bed, okay? So now I'm trying to reach and plug it in, but I'm also trying to maintain this eye contact, this vibe that we have going. So now I'm trying to plug it in, but I'm not looking and I can't find it, right? And so I'm just watching her slowly get more disappointed as I'm trying to plug this in, and I can't, and I'm talking my game too. I'm like, I'm tearing up, girl. One second, you about to get it. At one point, I think I even said, "Come on!" And it just killed the vibe. It really did, because you just looking at me, and she didn't say it, but you could see on her face, it's like, you're not too good at plugging stuff into sockets. That's not good foreshadowing, you know what I mean? I think let's just watch a movie or something. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to get my confidence back up, you know? It took me a while to get my life together. And once I did, once I was more put together and I moved my bed, I put myself back out there. And so I went on a first date with this young lady, and we were gonna go to dinner and a movie. And then on the way to dinner, I pushed a pull door, all right? And like, and there's no quicker way to look like you have an iron deficiency in front of a woman than to push a pull door. Because I had overcommitted, because I'm trying to be a gentleman, right? I'm trying to open the door for her, let her walk in first and everything. So I gave a little push. That we were talking, I gave a little push. I was like, maybe it just needs extra pressure. So I leaned into it a little bit more, and when it wouldn't budge, I was like, maybe I need two hands. And so now so now I'm square with the wall, right? And I'm pushing. And then I had pushed so hard that I started slipping. So I was sliding down as I was pushing. And right when my forehead hit the wall, like hit the door, I saw that in little print it said pull. But who puts pull in fine print? That's crazy. And so I opened the door and she walked in. She was sweet. She tried to ignore it and everything. But then went to the movie and I pulled a push. And like this one, I didn't pull as long as I had pushed the other one, so it wasn't as embarrassing. But it's just like I really tugged hard. Like I didn't put my foot up on or anything, but I was just like, I tugged. Your first date is supposed to be you getting to know a person. You know what I mean? And so now I could tell I gave her the ick because we were having a good time outside of those two situations. But then she was like, in her mind, I think maybe she was like, he's sweet, but he don't understand doors. And it's like, how do you? And it was embarrassing, but it's like, and I don't know if I should bring it up and address it or if I should just let it go or something. But she saw it both times, like she was waiting to get in, like. So it's not like something she could just ignore. So now, and I wanted to be like, look, I understand. I got a door in my room, like that's. But then she was looking at me after like when we went in the movie, like the rest of the day, she was looking at me like I was slow. And then I was like, I got a door in my room, which does make me sound slow. Like just, I got a door in my room. Like that sounds crazy because it's like, am I talking about a closet or am I talking about the door to my room? And it's just, it was devastating. And I get it. Like, I understand from her perspective, because she doesn't want to be out here dating somebody that she gotta look out for. Like, I get close to a door and she gotta be like, it's an innie. Like, so I get it. The worst one, absolute worst one was months later. Okay, so I used to work at a grocery store, right? And I was working one day and I slipped on some Rogue juice. And so it was a spill in the aisle. I slipped on juice and I fell on my hip. And I fell like that. You know when somebody take like an old fall? Like, you know, like that fall where you like, grandpa got one left. Like it was like that level fall because I fell on pure hip. It was like hip bone, right? And so I was all bruised up and hurting and everything, and I was like limping for some of the day. And then as I was healing up, because I didn't have health insurance, so when you don't have health insurance, you like, I think I just live like this now. You know what I mean? Like because by the next day I was healing up, but my hip was clicking, right? And so it would click whenever I would walk, and when I would sit down, that was 3 clicks right there. And so it was clicking nonstop. And I didn't have health insurance, so I was like, I think I'll just click now. I think that's just a part of who I am as a person. And so fast forward a couple days later, I'm still hurt, I'm still clicking and everything, but I've been seeing someone. And this was going to be the first time that we hooked up, and so we're about to have sex, and we start having sex, and I'd gotten so used to the clicks that I wasn't really thinking about them anymore, right? And I had been healing up, so I was like, maybe I don't even click like that. But then we started, and I didn't realize I click on the in and the out. Like I'm clicking nonstop, and it's loud too. It's so loud because I didn't put on any music, so there's no Miguel, there's no R&B to hide behind. It's just the clicks is all you can hear in the room. And I left my bathroom door open, so now I'm getting click echo from because it'll click in the room and click in the bathroom, and there's a click back, right? And I'm trying to put in work, so I'm sounding like a horse on cobble. Like I'm like truly nonstop because I'm really I'm trying to make a good impression. This is our first time hooking up, so I'm like nonstop. And so then she trying to act like she don't hear. She trying to be polite and everything. She's like, ooh, okay, but she can clearly hear it, you know. And then I'm getting self-conscious, so now I start clicking off rhythm, you know what I mean? It's like, which is just making it worse because it's like it's already bad that you clicking, but if you clicking on the 1 and the 3, everybody knows that this is bad. Now, you know what I mean? And so then I was like, she was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. How you doing? How's it for you? And she was like, we should talk. And I was like, all right, that's never good. And then And then we sat down. She's like, "Are you like okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I just fell. It was some rogue juice in the aisle, and I fell." And then she was like, "Well, how about we try me on top?" And so we did. And then that did not help at all because now it was just it was louder clicks because there was more pressure, right? So now it was like it felt like it was her clicks. You know what I mean? Like now she sounded like a full Paul Revere, right? Like because she was riding me, but she's also like nonstop, and it was devastating. It was so bad, and that's the only person that's ever ghosted me where I was like, I understand. I get it. I think I even texted her afterwards, like, hey, I understand. Like a month after she stopped hearing my text message, I just texted her one last time, like, I understand. Like. It's horrible. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but the orcas are at it again. Orcas, if you haven't seen it, the orcas, killer whales, are out here sinking yachts. They just ramming the yachts until they sink and everything. And who would have thought that the orcas would be the ones to step up? Yeah, I mean, like, rich people just be rich in our faces all the time on land, and then they went into the water, and the orcas were like, not my hood, dog. Like, it's crazy. I wish orcas had thumbs so bad, just because I would just want them to throw up gang signs with their fins. All day. The most recent one is this yacht that was going through the Strait of Gibraltar, and these orcas attacked it for 45 minutes, which must be terrifying because, like, I would hate to get killed by an orca because it's like their echolocation, the noises that they make are so close to dolphins. Like, just imagine you being murdered in the water and all you hear is like, ah! Gang, this is terrible. Tearing you up. It's horrific, you know? But they rammed the boat for 45 minutes and then finally it started to sink. Now, I was reading more about the story. It turns out there was no rich guy on that yacht. That yacht was just like in transit. So then when it capsized, the crew was who was in danger. But the orcas didn't attack any of the crew. Crew made it out safe, which does make me think even more that this is a money thing. Like it's gotta be. You had plenty of people right there to chop up and dice on and nibble up, and you didn't. And I'd like to think that like an orca nibbled maybe one of them and was like, oh, that tastes like work. I need supple. That workman meat too tough. You know what I mean? But y'all been amazing. Thank you so much. Did everybody get their Spotify Wrapped? Yeah. Okay. I think Apple Music does it too now. This is my thing. I feel like those Wraps are the closest things apps have to doing an intervention. Because the app will come to you at the end of the year and be like, hey, I'm not judging. There's no judgment here. I'm just saying I looked at the data. It's not even my opinion. This is just hardline facts. I looked at the data, and you've been listening to a lot of Imagine Dragons. Is everything okay? Are you all right? I'm just checking. No. You were in the top 0.05% of Drake listeners. Is there therapy that we can schedule? No. You've listened to the song Stand by Eminem 672
1,000 times. I don't even know how you pulled that off, because that's more minutes than there are in the year. Playing the song that many times, but you did it. I will tell you though, we did have to alert Eminem and let him know that somebody want to stab him, I guess. I don't know. Y'all got y'all got George Santos today. Sure. It's funny to me because George Santos' whole defense of himself was that y'all picking on me, but you got other members of Congress that are out here sleeping with lobbyists, stealing your tax dollars and everything, but you gonna put it all on me. And I get what he's in that moment. I do get what he's saying. There are plenty of people doing very crooked things in Congress that are not gonna have the comeuppance that he just had. That is a fact, right? To be fair, though, George Santos is the type of person that you do the heist with, and y'all pull it off, and the next day he show up in a fur coat. And you're like, nigga, you could have laid low. What is wrong with you? He's like, what? It's fabulous. Sure, it does. Because I'm not gonna lie, George Santos is a snazzy dresser. I can't hold him. He really is. Every time I saw him, he looked like he was in a different cut or something that I'd never seen before, you know, dressing from the future. This is my thing though, like, he spent all this money, campaign money, on stuff like Botox. But you know what? Good for him. He wanted to look good for you. You know who doesn't spend money on Botox? We be letting Mitch McConnell sag in front of us all the time. Nobody says anything. This man's sagging nonstop. He's swinging, he's sagging so much. If you get Mitch to turn around fast, you might catch something in the chin. You gotta do a rope-a-dope. Anytime Mitch turn around fast, you're like, oh. But George was like, no, I'm not gonna steal from you and be looking raggedy. That's not the type of person that I am. You're gonna get one or the other, all right? I can either show up looking dusty, you can keep all your little money, or you can get to see this. Spent money on OnlyFans. I say, fair enough. The little bit of OnlyFans money he spent, okay, it's improper. He should be taken to task for it, right? But you know what's way more expensive? Using tax dollars to fund a whole mistress. You know what I mean? You gotta get her an apartment. You gotta fly her where you're gonna be. You gotta pay for her real boyfriend to go to school. Like, it's a lot of expenses. Spent money on Hermes. I didn't even know what Hermes was. Luxury bags.
Hermes.
Are they men's?
Hermes. It's pronounced Hermes.
Oh, this is what happens with poor people try to pronounce. This is what happens when one of the poors puts luxury in his mouth. Yeah. Spent money on Hermes and Versace. Yeah. Wow, no. My bad. Thank you for correcting me. Imagine if I had gone around the country saying Hermes over and over again. I guess I still don't know what a Hermes bag is. Fair enough.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I was the one that doesn't know how to misspell them with my mouth. That last laugh felt like you were laughing at me being poor. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't care for that one. That was you know, like you'll be a little self-deprecating and then somebody will be like, ha! It's like, wow, okay. Tell me how you really feel. Yeah. I can't drive. Thank you. Yeah, you need them? Yeah. I can't drive. I don't have a driver's license. I grew up in Louisiana, and that's where I failed the test. And so I would just have to, walk or run everywhere, which in Louisiana is both dangerous and exhausting. But I remember I took driver's ed, and came time to do my driving test. It was bad. I don't know what it was. I panicked because I was in one of those driving test cars, So it had the brakes on his side, the brakes on my side, but just the wheel on my side, right? And I drove decently at the start. I'm good at rights. If I gotta take a right, I'm a fuck up a right, all right? Like I can cut a wheel on a right. I do rights like Formula One. It's the lefts that get me. Because there's just so many places you can go when you're trying to go left, Take a wide turn, you can make a sharp left, Lefts make me nervous. And so it was a left that did me in. I was doing the test. I'd done okay, we had just started, and then I drove on 3 lawns. I had to take a left, and so then I took the left, and I guess I was not cutting the wheel tight enough, and so then before I knew it, I was on the lawn, right? Now, the first lawn was because I wanted to make sure I was avoiding the car that was oncoming, right? Like, let me go ahead and get out the way. The second lawn was because I wasn't sure if I had the room to merge back into the road. By the time I was on the third lawn, I did forget I was on lawns. I was just kind of like, well, he knows I'm doing my best. And it wasn't until he said, get off the lawn, son, that I was like, you're right. Let me go ahead and merge back into the regular street. And then I did pretty well. I did pretty well after that for a little while. But then, once again, it was time to take a left. And the light, to me, the light was green, and then it was yellow, and then it was red, and it was the fastest yellow I've ever seen in my life. It was like the green was here, and we were good. And then as I started to turn, the yellow was like it just became a red. And so then I didn't want to run the light, so I did stop in the middle of the intersection. Because in my mind, I was like, there won't be an accident if I just stop and let people go around, right? So I'm just waving people around. And so then everybody going around me, and he finally turned to me after a couple cars passed, and he was like, what are you trying to do? And I was like, I thought I'd let them go because I didn't want you to like nix me for points for running the light. And then he was like, you ran the light immediately. You were running the light when you got here. And I was like, that was a fast yellow though. And he's like, it wasn't at all. That was a regular yellow. You just panicked. I watched you. You panicked and you hit the gas, then you hit the brake, and now we're here. And so I had to take a couple more left, so I knew I wasn't gonna pass. It was getting bad, right? And so then he made me stop. He made me stop, which I didn't even think they could do. I didn't know that you could be at the drive test. They're like, you know what? Nah. Like, I thought they had to let you finish for you to fail. He was like, nah, you points-wise, there's no way you could make a comeback right now, so let's just stop. I'm gonna drive you back. So he wanted me to stop the car and for us to switch, but he offered me something very sweet. This was very nice. He said to me, he was like, look, I know you thought you were gonna get your license today. I also know that your mom brought you. So I tell you what, I'm gonna drive us back, and about a block away, we can switch back, and I'll let you drive up, and you can tell her it didn't work out this time, but you'll be back, right? And I was like, that's very nice. And then he immediately regretted his offer because then he was saying that to me when we were at like just a road, right? But not like, this wasn't like the intersections road. This was just like a side road we were on that nobody else was on when he told me to stop. And so then I was like, okay, sounds good. So then I just got out the car, but I didn't put it in park. I was just letting it go. Now I'm young, I'm spry, so I'm able to just pop out the car, right? So then I didn't even notice it was at a slow roll at the moment. And so I pop out and I'm walking around the car when I notice I gotta keep up with the car. I'm like, oh no, I didn't put it in park. Now he has his door open, right? But he is in his mid-50s. And so he having trouble getting out. So I know what I should have done. I should have run back in, jumped in, stopped the car, put in park and everything. But in my mind, I did my job. I'm on this side right now. This is my side now. It's his job to get out. Now he is trying to stop the car, but he got 1 foot out and he doing like a Flintstone, like trying to stop because it's barely rolling. It's not like driving. It's just like a slow roll. So then he's like, come on now, come on now, come on. He's saying come on now to himself as he's stomping. And I don't know why he keeps stomping. Just keep your foot there. That's how Fred did it, you know? Just like, he put it and then he let it drag. But this man is just like, come on now. Come on. Come on. So I didn't get my license. I still take the train everywhere.
Okay, are you guys ready for your headliner for the night? You know him and love him from The Daily Show, so put your hands together for Josh Johnson!
I've been trying to listen to more music because I think that obviously it's important to read, it's important to talk to people, but I think music has a special place where you can learn something. Sometimes there's something that you can get from music that you just cannot get anywhere else. It doesn't hit the same through spoken word, doesn't hit the same way through prose, through reading it, because I think whether it's melody or it's rhythm, there's something that you open yourself up to when there's music that you wouldn't if there wasn't. Like, it's a hard thing to explain sometimes, but there are little things that are written that stick with me. But then sometimes there's things that are just sung. And maybe it's just because of the way it's sung or something. I like that lyric. Let me think about that more. And then you chew on an idea, right? Music is incredibly powerful. Like, I think about back in Louisiana, I know somebody who, she divorced her husband with a singing telegram. Now, you can already imagine how different it hits to maybe be at a dinner and demand a divorce. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of you. I'm always putting up with the same stuff. I want a divorce. You know what I mean? Your server is like, so, no dessert. Or even if you just write someone a letter, they're sitting at home reading this letter in this unsealed envelope. They're just sitting there reading it like, what? But to have a singing telegram show up, knock on your door, be hitting the music, you know,
little stereo, standing there. Beat starts, they're just, I am your singing telegram. And then they give you the worst news of your life. Dancing to it, too. She doesn't want to see you anymore. You become a bore. She wants a divorce. And putting his hand out for a tip. You know, music hits different. I think sometimes one of the most beautiful ways to remember somebody that you lost is through music. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll tell a story or something, and if the story doesn't hold a significance for a person, it just doesn't, they don't capture the thing that you captured when you talked to them or when the story happened. Maybe you had to be there, maybe you had to know the person. But when somebody leaves a song behind, that's like timeless in a way. We lost a very important person. Legendary person. We lost Quincy Jones, right? And if you don't know who Quincy Jones is, just educate yourself. I mean, Quincy Jones is not just a legend, an icon of culture, of music, but something deeper, like understood. Quincy understood people, understood music, understood storytelling, right? Quincy was one of the master collaborators. There were people that you love and you love their work and you don't know Quincy's in it. You know? Like that, it's that way with Michael Jackson. Quincy and Michael Jackson had major hits. Michael Jackson owed some of his biggest hits to his collaborations with Quincy Jones because Quincy could help pull out the best parts of the person that he was collaborating with. And there's even stories. There's legendary stories that Quincy Jones has told. More stories than I could ever even attempt to describe. Like, crazy stuff. This man lived one of the most remarkable lives in American history. And there's stories that are so insane that Quincy's like not even in the story, but he's in the story. Like he's not even a part of the story, but the story came together because of Quincy. As an example, I heard this story. It's a little bit less than a rumor, but a part of me wants it to be true because it's fantastic. Quincy had daughters. Quincy's daughters were, one of them was Khadijah, and at one point Khadijah apparently was dating Tupac, right? And this still blows my mind. So Tupac, through potential collaborations that they were supposed to do, knows Michael Jackson, right? Michael Jackson obviously knows Quincy Jones from the hits that they made together and everything. But there's this one time where when Tupac was leaving somewhere with Khadijah, like I don't know if it was like a dance club or something like that, but they were having an argument. And you know one of those arguments that you see where you're like, I don't know, is this bad? This is like, you know, like as a couple when you see them, and maybe it was that whisper fight, and you know that thing that couples do, it's like, I'm just That's a big one at restaurants, you know. Oh yeah, you ever date somebody that could curse you out with those whispers? They hitting all the F's. Nobody hears, but and you know, if you passing by, I don't know, is this a bad fight? Who knows? Or maybe they were having a screaming match. It doesn't seem like it because it seemed like kind of one-sided. Like Tupac was very annoyed with Khadijah trying to get her to come along and everything. And we've all been in a situation, if you've just been out, where you've seen a couple argue and you're like, is this bad? Do you know what I mean? Like you've been in a Walmart parking lot where you were like, is this just how they talk to each other? Or like, should I step in or something? Because this is uncomfortable, you know? And I'm not picking on Walmart. I've been to a Golden Corral and just waiting to be seated, and you're like, all right, they about to eat together? That doesn't seem like a happy occasion. And so, you know, Tupac was saying something tantamount to like, come on, girl, hurry up, come on, right? But they're leaving as Michael Jackson is coming in, and Michael Jackson sees this. And so he approaches Tupac because of the closeness that he has with Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones' daughters are like Tupac's nieces to a certain degree. It's like that with any close friendship, you know? This is your uncle. Well, we're not related, but that's your uncle, right? And he says, hey, is everything okay? I don't like how you're talking to her. You need to chill out. You need to calm down, right? And then Tupac apparently says to Mike, hey, back up, all right? This is none of your business. Be about your way, all right? And then Michael is like, no, you don't understand. This is pretty much my niece. You're not going to talk to her any type of way, especially in public. You need to calm down, right? And then tells him again, you need to back up. You need to back off, right? And then according to the story, Michael Jackson beat Tupac's ass. I know how it sounds. But this is my thing. When I look at Tupac, I look at Michael Jackson, I can't help but wonder if the two of them, in a way, are like the inverse of each other. You know? Because we've seen from footage of this person that Tupac is, right? This incredibly adept poet, this person who pulls the tenderness out of horrific things and expresses that tenderness back through music or just through written word. That type of poet, that person is in some ways a sensitive person, like a sensitive soul. Maybe not soft, maybe not, you know, but there's someone who clearly has a sensitive side that they can access. And I think that a lot of like thug life, a lot of the street stuff, some of that is to sell records. Some of that he was really living. But you can't help but wonder how much of this persona is a persona to sell, to market, and how much of this is actually him. Because what if, when no one's around, behind closed doors, when you're just chilling, this guy is a sweetheart, sensitive person. You know, it's what's been said about him through people who knew him. And you look at Michael Jackson. We know Michael Jackson was abused horribly. Joe Jackson beat those kids. And you go through your life like that with abuse, it can harden a person. And maybe behind closed doors, when no one was around, maybe Mike was like a little bit more hardened than we like to believe. You know? So imagine that. You're fighting Michael Jackson. It's gotta be upsetting. I can't imagine trying to fight Michael Jackson, the king of pop. I can't imagine him fighting without doing moves for no reason. Imagine trying to fight Michael Jackson and he punch you, but he moving his leg. The leg not involved in the punch. You have the king of pop, right? And you have Tupac. Tupac is on the Everest of hip hop, right? Tupac, for better or for worse, created an entire lane of hip hop that people went down and either created some of the best artistry that I think personally has been known to man musically, and then some people who leaned into the street side a little too much and it just became something destructive. But Tupac is up there. And Tupac is who you would imagine would be beating on anybody, right? I'm not saying Tupac couldn't fight. All I will say is that the one fight that I saw Tupac in is the one that we can all see him in. It's the night that he was fighting with those dudes in Vegas. You know? A bunch of guys on his side, guys on the other side, everybody getting beat. I'm not saying Tupac couldn't fight. I'm saying the way that I saw him fighting in that video looked like the way all of us might try to double dutch. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a big cartoonish scuffle, just feet in the air, fists out of the... You know what I mean? Just like, you know, like with those Looney Tunes smoke clouds of fights and everything. And Tupac was outside of it, and you could tell he was trying to find his place. He was like... And now, you're fighting Michael Jackson. Someone so horrifically coordinated. He hitting you and then pop it and lock it. Doing all these extra moves and stuff. Michael Jackson probably the only person in human history that could be beating somebody's ass and sound like he getting beat at the same time. Just, he punching you, kicking you, and then he the one be like, ow! Be mad as hell. You trying to fight Michael Jackson. You trying to swing on him and everything. And every time you think you really got a good one, you planned it out, the fist is gonna go in his face and I'm swinging with all your might. And then he just doing these dumbass leans. It's gotta be terrifying. Trying to fight Michael Jackson. He got enough cardio to dance for 3 concerts. You know, and he thin too, so he hard to hit. He moving off. You swinging at him, he's saying stuff to you. Words that don't make any sense. Tamagotchi. What am I supposed to do? Whispering to you. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, especially if you have a fondness for a person, there's at least rumor that there are these tracks that got scrapped between Michael Jackson and Tupac. They were supposed to be on some songs together, right? So it's not as if they didn't know each other. And now imagine, you know this person. And you don't want to hurt them. They were talking disrespectfully to someone else that you love, and maybe they pushed you first, and now you're fighting, and then, you know, you hit them, and you hit them hard. You hit them real good. Now Tupac bent over and everything. God. Michael Jackson, I don't even want to say it, but he's like, are you okay? You know, the way I imagine it, Tupac gathered himself and was like, no, I'm not done. I can't go out like this. And he was written back in, you know, swinging at him and everything. And Michael Jackson went to kicking. And that, even when Michael Jackson was dancing, he wouldn't kick normal. He was never just like doing a kick. It was always like his leg was gonna come off. The whole kick. And now you stand there, you've been kicked 17 times, you still standing up, got all these footprints on you like you got run over at a marathon or something. Your friends roll up to you and now you gotta be like, It was 6 of them. They came out of nowhere. They all had the same shoe on. Oh. This is brutal. You know what I mean? Imagine you fighting somebody you respect, too. You gotta fight one of your heroes. It's unnerving. Beating you up. Fixing his hat for no reason. Because hearing about this fight, hearing about this rumor, reminded me of a different rumor that I heard about Michael Jackson. Something that, I don't know. I mean, it's you can take it or leave it. I don't know. It's something that I believed for a little while because of who was saying it. But basically, Michael Jackson had such a passion for the specific art that he was doing. Not just the music, not just the spectacle, but just the whole thing. So much so that he would let it spill off stage. And all of it became a persona. All of it became a presentation, performance, almost all the time. And one of the ways that it presented itself was not just in how he dressed and how he looked and stuff, but also how he spoke. Because there's an idea that if you can be meek enough, if you could be gentle enough, if you could be soft-spoken enough, that people's perceptions of you will almost pass past you and just see the music.
if you're not this big, larger-than-life character, if you're not getting in trouble all the time, maybe if people can just see me as this, like, the same kid that they fell in love with, now just making bigger and better things, maybe they'll love the bigger and better things I have to make, right? And so there's a rumor from a few different people who knew Mike well, who would chill with him, sometimes just out by themselves, when there was no risk of being seen by the public. And they said that that voice, the voice that we know as Michael Jackson, the voice that's been, imitated over decades, was not his voice. That's what they said, that if you were hanging out with Michael Jackson, you just chilling with him at his house, he actually had a way more like level register than that, which is something that shocked me, because I was like, wow, imagine putting that much into a performance, that it's like off stage and it's everywhere, it's everyone that you meet, you're shaking hands with people, you're meeting people, and that's still not quite you. You're still putting it on a little bit, right? But now imagine you're fighting Michael Jackson. And not only is he beating your ass, but every once in a while he's like, come here, bitch. Like, that's gotta be maybe the most shocking part. I don't know what I would do. You're fighting Michael Jackson, and he's making 3 different noises at the same time. He got a low one, he got a high one. He's saying weird stuff. Not only do you have to fight Michael Jackson, you got to fight a possessed version of Michael Jackson, I'm assuming, because you've never heard him talk like this. No. That's one of the funniest images I have in my head. Is Michael Jackson punching you in your forehead, and they'd be like, "What's up, nigga?" Like that's. No, what's really hood, dog? What's really... Imagine, and you're Tupac, you're getting beat, presumably in front of some people, by Michael Jackson. At a certain point, you gotta be like, guys, somebody must have a gun. Shoot this man. Even if you try to shoot him, Michael Jackson probably like catching the bullets. Well, maybe he knocks you down. You laying on the ground. You ever seen somebody get beat? I know I'm digressing to digress, but like this, you ever see somebody get beat up real bad, and all of a sudden it's almost like they have a cold or something because they start coughing. You know, it's like they get punched a couple times, they're like, and then Michael Jackson rolls you over with his foot, walks around you all disrespectful, just fixing his belt and stuff. He's standing over you. You don't know what's about to happen next. You don't know if he's gonna curb dance you or... You're waiting for him. Is Michael Jackson gonna kill me? And he's looking down at you. Maybe you even try to get up one more time. Maybe you got a little fight left. I can't go out like this. I have thug life tattooed on me. You give it all you got. You swinging at Michael Jackson. You kicking at him and stuff. And you got to worry about extra. You got to worry about like extra things with Mike. You got to worry about his kicks, his punches. You also got to worry about his pelvis. He also moving that all weird and stuff. Imagine somebody punching at you and then just... I don't know what to do with that. It's very upsetting. Michael Jackson punches you down to the ground again. You hit the ground. You're like, this is it. He's going to kill me. And he's standing over you, towering over you. And when you're waiting for him to hit you with that death blow, he just goes... I don't know. It probably didn't happen, but it's fun to dream.
Mira.